If you think wisdom comes with riches, think again. In the small village of Omumo, an old woman with nothing but a worn-out wrapper and a walking stick did what no king, no warrior, and no rich man could do. She defeated the greediest men, not with money, but with her mind. And today, I will tell you the story of Mama Jumo, the woman who outsmarted fortune seekers and proved that courage and cleverness are worth more than gold. The sun was harsh that afternoon. The villagers were gathered under the big Iroko tree, fanning themselves with broken pieces of cardboard. News had spread like wildfire. A group of fortune seekers had arrived in Omumo. They wore shiny clothes, rode big motorcycles, and carried leather bags full of promises. "They are looking for someone," whispered Mama Oho, an old market woman, as she leaned closer to Mama Jumo. "Someone who holds the map to the treasure hidden in these lands." Mama Jumo just smiled, her eyes twinkling. "Hey! Treasure," said little Kimi, tugging on Mama Jumo's wrapper. "Is there really gold here, Mama?" Mama Jumo bent low and whispered, "Sometimes, child, the real treasure is not what you see, but what you know." The fortune seekers, led by a man called Chief Tunde, promised riches beyond imagination. "We will reward anyone who helps us," he shouted loudly, standing in the middle of the village square. "Gold, cars, and houses." The villagers went wild with excitement. Except Mama Jumo. She just sat quietly, chewing on a stick, as if none of it concerned her. That night, as the moon rose high, Chief Tunde and his men went door to door, searching. When they came to Mama Jumo's small mud house, they laughed. "Ha! What can this poor woman possibly have?" one of them scoffed. But Chief Tunde was clever. He noticed something, a small, strange box sitting on Mama Jumo's wooden shelf. He leaned in, smiling. "Mama, what's in the box?" Mama Jumo smiled back sweetly. "Ah, my box of secrets." The men exchanged greedy looks. The box sat there, dusty but proud, as if it had a life of its own. Chief Tunde licked his dry lips and leaned closer. "Mama, give it to us," he said softly, flashing a gold-toothed smile. "You don't need it. You are old. Let the young ones enjoy the treasure." Mama Jumo chuckled, a low, deep laugh that made the night air feel thicker. "My son," she said, her voice calm, "you cannot just take it. You must earn it." Chief Tunde's face hardened. He didn't like being challenged. But he smiled again, pretending to be patient. "And how do we earn it, Mama?" Mama Jumo stood up slowly, her back straight, her eyes sharp like the eagle. "You must answer 3 questions," she said. "If you fail, you must leave this village at once, and never return." The men laughed loudly. "What kind of nonsense is this?" one of them said, slapping his thigh. "Questions? This old woman is joking." But Chief Tunde silenced them with a wave of his hand. He was greedy, and greedy men will dance to any tune if they think gold is waiting at the end. "Fine," Chief Tunde said, "ask your questions." Mama Jumo nodded. She sat down carefully on her wooden stool and raised one finger. "First question," she said, her voice strong. "What is the thing that becomes heavier the more you remove from it?" The men frowned. They scratched their heads. They whispered among themselves. "Is it gold?" one said. "No, fool," another snapped. Maybe a river." Chief Tunde's eyes narrowed. He thought hard. Then he smiled. "A hole," he said. "The more you dig from it, the bigger and heavier it gets." Mama Jumo's lips curled into a sly smile. "Correct," she said. "2 more to go," Mama Jumo said quietly. She raised 2 fingers. "Second question," she said. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Chief Tunde frowned deeply now. His men started to sweat. The village seemed to hold its breath. "Is it a ghost?" someone whispered. "No," Chief Tunde said, shaking his head. Minutes passed. The night grew colder. Suddenly, Chief Tunde's eyes lit up. "An echo," he shouted. Mama Jumo clapped her hands slowly. "Correct again," she said. Now the men were excited. Victory seemed close. But Mama Jumo's smile faded. Her eyes grew dark and serious. "Last question," she said. "What is more precious than gold, more dangerous than fire, and more powerful than kings?" Chief Tunde froze. He looked at his men, but they were just as confused as he was. "Money," one of them whispered. "No." "Love," another suggested. "No." Chief Tunde felt a drop of sweat roll down his back. He had one guess left. "Mama," he said, stepping forward. "Give me a clue, a small hint. We are brothers." Mama Jumo smiled sadly. "Even brothers can be enemies when gold blinds their hearts," she said. Chief Tunde panicked. His dreams of treasure, cars, women, everything, slipping through his fingers. He thought hard. His mind raced. Finally, with a shaking voice, he said, "Is it power?" Mama Jumo shook her head slowly. "No, my son," she said. "The answer is wisdom." Chief Tunde fell to his knees, furious. "You tricked us," he shouted. "No," Mama Jumo said gently. "You tricked yourselves. You thought treasure was something you could steal. But true treasure lives here." She tapped her forehead. "And here." She placed her hand on her heart. The villagers, who had been watching silently from behind the trees, began to cheer and clap. Old men, women, children, they celebrated the woman who had defended their village not with weapons, but with wisdom. Just when the village thought it was over, it had only just begun. Chief Tunde did not leave the next morning. He sat alone under the mango tree, his heart burning with anger. He was not a man who accepted defeat. And now, he was planning something dark, something Mama Jumo could never imagine. "I will not go back empty-handed," Chief Tunde muttered to himself, his fists clenched. "If I cannot win by riddles, I will win by force." He called his men secretly in the night. "We will take the box by midnight," he whispered, his eyes wild. "That old woman cannot stop us." The men nodded. Their hearts were greedy, and greed is a dangerous fire that blinds the eyes. Mama Jumo sat by her small fire, roasting groundnuts. Little Kimi ran to her, breathless. "Mama, I heard them. They are coming for you tonight," she cried. Mama Jumo smiled softly and pulled the girl close. "My child," she said, stroking her hair, "fear only makes a problem grow bigger. Calmness makes it smaller." "But Mama," Kimi whispered, "they are many, and you are alone." Mama Jumo's eyes twinkled again, the same way they had the day before. "I may be old, Kimi, but I am never truly alone." The night was thick and heavy. The only sound was the distant hoot of an owl. Chief Tunde and his men crept toward Mama Jumo's house, their footsteps silent. They carried machetes, ropes, and empty sacks, ready to steal everything. But as they pushed the door open, wham! A giant basket fell from the roof, trapping them like goats. From the darkness, villagers stepped out, men, women, even the children, all holding sticks, stones, and lanterns. "You thought you were wise," said Mama Jumo, stepping forward, her voice like thunder. "But you forgot one thing, when a village stands together, no thief can win." Chief Tunde struggled under the basket, his face full of shame. You set a trap for us," he shouted. Mama Jumo shook her head slowly. "No," she said. "You set the trap for yourself, the moment you let greed control you." The villagers cheered. The chief of the village, an old man with a white beard, came forward. "You, Mama Jumo," he said proudly, "have saved our village not once, but twice." But Mama Jumo was not done. She turned to the Fortune Seekers and said, "Now, you will do what you refused to do before. You will learn wisdom." And she had a plan for their punishment, a plan no one saw coming. The villagers gathered around the trapped men, their faces lit by flickering lanterns. Chief Tunde and his Fortune Seekers sat inside the giant basket, their heads bowed low in shame. But Mama Jumo wasn't cruel, she was wise. And her punishment would teach them a lesson that gold could never buy. "You came here to steal treasure," Mama Jumo said, her voice calm but firm. "But you will leave here carrying something far heavier, wisdom. Chief Tunde glared at her. "And what is your foolish punishment, old woman?" he spat. Mama Jumo only smiled. "The punishment," she said slowly, "is that you must work for the village for 1 whole year. No gold. No praise. Only service." The men gasped. "A year?" they shouted together. "Yes," Mama Jumo said, nodding. "You will farm the land. You will fetch water. You will repair houses. You will serve every widow and every orphan." The villagers clapped and cheered. "This is true justice," shouted old Baba Ijibu, waving his cane. "They came for gold, but they will leave with blisters on their hands." "I refuse," he roared. "I am a big man. A chief. I will not be a slave." Chief Tunde said. Mama Jumo stepped forward, her eyes flashing. "You are not a chief here," she said. "You are just a man who thought he could cheat wisdom. Now you must humble yourself." For a moment, it seemed like Tunde would fight. His hands clenched into fists. His eyes burned with pride and anger. But then he saw the villagers surrounding him. Strong, united, unbreakable. And he knew he had no choice. "We accept," he said bitterly. Mama Jumo nodded once. "You may begin tomorrow morning," she said. "At sunrise." The very next day, the sun rose golden and bright over the village. And for the first time, Chief Tunde and his men worked like ordinary men. They dug wells. They harvested cassava. They repaired broken mud walls. Their hands, once soft from greed, became rough and blistered. Slowly, very slowly, something strange began to happen. The men started to laugh again, real laughter, not the greedy kind. They played with the children. They helped old women cross the river. They shared stories at night by the fireside. Chief Tunde, once proud and full of himself, now carried baskets on his head and smiled at strangers. One evening, he sat beside Mama Jumo, watching the stars. "Mama," he said quietly, "I thought gold was the greatest treasure. But now, I see that peace, respect, and a good name are worth more than all the riches of the earth." Mama Jumo smiled. "Wisdom," she said, "is a light that never fades." One peaceful morning, as Chief Tunde and the other men were clearing the old farmland by the river, something unbelievable happened. Kimi, the little girl, was helping too, carrying a small hoe. Suddenly, her hoe hit something hard. Clank. "Mama Jumo! Come quick!" Kimi shouted, jumping up and down. Everyone dropped their tools and rushed over. "What is it, child?" Mama Jumo asked, wiping her hands on her wrapper. Kimi pointed to the ground, her eyes wide. "There's something shiny under the soil." The men dug carefully. The villagers watched, holding their breath. Soon, they pulled out a small wooden chest, old and covered in dirt. "Is it gold?" someone whispered. "Is it treasure?" another cried. Chief Tunde, now a changed man, looked at Mama Jumo. "Should we open it?" he asked humbly. Mama Jumo smiled gently. "Open it," she said. "But remember, not all treasures are what you expect." With shaking hands, Chief Tunde opened the chest. Inside was not gold, not silver, not jewels. Instead, there was a scroll made of ancient animal skin, beautifully written. At the top, it said, "The wisdom of the ancestors." "What is this?" Kimi asked, frowning. Mama Jumo took the scroll carefully and read aloud. It was filled with powerful teachings. A how to plant crops to feed generations. A how to live in peace with neighbors. A how to treat strangers with kindness. A how to raise children with wisdom and strength. Tears filled the villagers' eyes as they listened. Chief Tunde knelt on the ground, his voice breaking. This is greater than any gold," he whispered. "This is the treasure we needed all along." Mama Jumo nodded, her eyes shining. "Gold can be stolen. Silver can rust. But wisdom," she said, "will carry your children's children into greatness." That day, the villagers threw a great feast. There was pounding of yam, roasting of goat, drumming, singing, and dancing that shook the trees. "You saved us all, Mama Jumo," said Baba Ijibu, raising his cup. "Your courage and cleverness gave us a treasure no one can ever take." Mama Jumo smiled, but she shook her head. "It was not just me," she said. "It was the power of a village that stood together. It was the courage of a little girl who spoke the truth. And it was the change of heart in a man who chose wisdom over greed." From that day, the village grew richer, not in gold, but in peace, in wisdom, and in love. Chief Tunde stayed in the village, building a new life. He became a humble teacher, sharing the lessons he had once tried to steal. And Mama Jumo? She remained the heartbeat of the village, her laughter floating through the trees, a reminder to all. Courage and cleverness are worth more than all the gold in the world. And so, the story of the woman who outsmarted the fortune seekers became a legend, told from one village to another, across hills and rivers, lighting fires of hope in every heart. Because sometimes, the greatest fortune is a wise and fearless heart. Thank you so much for watching. Your support means everything to us. Every like, comment, and share helps keep these powerful African stories alive. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. There are so many more unforgettable stories waiting for you. Let's keep this journey going together.